And welcome back to another episode of Born to Talk About Sports. I am your host, Steve Bourne. Sorry I didn't do a video last week, but the reason is going to be pretty evident when I explain what my topic is today. My topic today is headshots in sports. The reason I'm talking about this is I'm recording this on Sunday of the May long weekend. About almost 2 weeks ago, I suffered a concussion at work. I was cleaning some equipment in the gym at the hotel, and something startled me. I raised up, banged my head. For about 2 or 3 days, I pretty much didn't leave the bedroom, didn't leave the bed, really, unless it was to do my business. So if anyone's asking, I'm doing much better now. I'm heading back to work after the May long weekend. I'm pretty much symptom-free now. My symptoms were mostly sensitive to light, headaches, and extremely low stamina. I'd be just moving around for a couple of bit, get a headache, completely exhausted, go to bed for like 2 or 3 hours. My sleep schedule was all messed up. Like I said, I couldn't really leave the bedroom for about 3 days. Luckily, in my bedroom, I have blackout blinds, so it made life a bit easier. Screen time on phone or TV was maybe about an hour at the most, before not even an hour, maybe even half an hour, 40 minutes at the most, and everything started spinning. Equilibrium was off. It was a nasty 3 or 4 days before I showed any signs of improvement. And that's why I'm going to talk about headshots and concussions in sports. What can I say? NHL, mostly NHL and NFL, get your stuff together. What happened with Tua Tagovailoa last season, game against Buffalo, should never happen. I can tell you right now, from what I barely remember that day when I got my head whacked, I didn't have it as bad as Tua because I wasn't really stumbling like he did when he fell off the field when he got nailed against Buffalo. But there's no way he should have been on the field. I'm glad measures have been taken since, especially firing the doctor who allowed him to come back in that game. But also, and then I'm noticing in the NHL playoffs, a lot of shots to the head and nothing being called, or at most a $5,000 fine. And this has got to stop. I'm going to try to get a hold of Christopher Nowinski in the United States, the Harvard graduate who's the head of the Concussion Institute in the United States, who is the leading force on trying to get professional sports and anything with contact, including, say, UFC and hell, even sports entertainment, because he is a former WWE wrestler and his career ended with a concussion, to get the leagues more serious. Like, when I know it's just because I'm a Leaf fan, but the end of regulation game 5, when I can't remember who it was for the Panthers, just did a flying chicken wing elbow at Marner's head. When the puck was 20 feet away, Marner went down. Apparently he was tested for a concussion before the first overtime. Right in front of the refs and not called. I don't care if it's playoffs or not, you're dealing with a person's head. You should call that every time. And when the officials won't call that because it's quote-unquote playoff hockey and you have to let them play, to me that's a cop-out. You don't want to call headshots because, again, you're not taking them seriously. I don't know, does a player have to die on the field or on the ice? Or does somebody have to do God, I hope this never happens, but what with Chris Benoit, where somebody takes so many headshots, but you ignore them to the point where it drives them to do something extremely, extremely evil. Because CTE exists. The NFL has put millions, if not tens of millions of dollars to suppress it. I mean, the movie Concussion, it's an entertaining movie, but it's a borderline documentary. I mean, there's a reason why it was probably one of the best movies of the year, but since it went against The Shield, didn't get a single Oscar nomination. And that's basically what started Will Smith's downfall. almost as an actor. Excuse me 1 minute. And then again, you're seeing like in the NHL playoffs, guys get a cross check right to the back of the head and goes down, and because it's the playoffs, it's only a $5,000 fine. I'm sorry, when you take a stick to the back of a guy's head or neck, there's intent to seriously injure. And I'm done with this, well, it's only the playoffs, or trying to create excuses for not suspending it, guys. I'm sorry, when you take a shot at a guy's head, you could possibly end their life if it goes the wrong way. So I'm begging the NHL and the NFL, even the NBA to an extent, when guys are trying to get position going back of the net, going backwards to the net, and flare an elbow to create space. If you guys are not careful, you can get a guy right in the chops, knock him out cold if you hit him right in the sweet spot. And sure, you might nail it for a foul, but if any shot to the head, to me, is an attempt to seriously injure. And like I said, I'm begging the leagues to take headshots more seriously after what I went through. And I probably just went through a minor one compared to what some pro athletes have gone through. And like I said, I'm just begging the leagues to pay more attention. Actual look at the science. Put your egos and money aside. You're dealing with lives. I really don't know what else to say at this point. Sure, the NHL playoffs have been entertaining, but you've got to take headshots and any really attempts to injure a bit more seriously and treat it like it's more of a regular season. Like when Pietrangelo did that two-handed whack on Leon Draisaitl, the Oilers, I think it was in the game 4. I was a severe attempt to injure. One game doesn't mean squat. Like I said, Sam Bennett cross-check to the back of the head of Michael Bunting. That could be a concussion. That could take... I know Bunting got suspended for giving a guy a concussion, and honestly, it knocked Cernak out of the playoffs, and probably one of the big reasons why the Leafs beat the Lightning is Cernak was one of their better defensemen. And personally, I think Bunting probably should have gotten more than just the 3 games, because he raised his elbow, caught him in the head. But it just shows to me that when the NHL says, oh, we've got penalties for hits to the head, well, when referees don't enforce it, doesn't mean squat. And I think that's what it comes down to, is these referees have to be told anything to the head, take seriously. Even if it's minor, even if it was just a glancing blow, they have to send the message to the players, keep your elbows and keep your hands down. There's a reason why a high sticking penalty can be a double minor if a guy is showing any injury, and that includes blood. If it's a glancing elbow to the head and the guy has to leave for concussion protocol, to me that should be in the thing as a double minor, at least. If the guy can't come back, who knows? But like I said, I want to see the leagues, just to summarize everything again, I do want to see the leagues take this more seriously. They are not because of fiscal reasons, and gotta let the players play to me is the biggest cop-out in sports. Letting the players play means letting the less skilled team get a bit more of an advantage, so they can make things even. If you don't call penalties, you've got a team that, let's face it, may not be as skilled as one, but if they can hook and grab by letting the players play, it evens things up, and it doesn't show you who the better team is. When you put the whistles away, it basically tells you that we're going to let the team not as skilled be a bit more competitive. And that's what the league wants, the players want. Maybe not so much the more skilled players, but if the league wants parity and maybe things not as one-sided, they'll just say, you know what, we'll let the players decide. Well, if the players hook and hold, you're breaking the rules. But again, guess what do I know? I've only been watching hockey for almost 40 years, pretty much since I was born. But yeah, no, I just want to see the leagues take headshots a bit more seriously, especially after what I went through. I mean, pretty like I said, I mean, I didn't even leave the house for about a week, and that's really bad cabin fever. If anyone goes has a concussion, I feel for you. It's scary, especially for the first few days, because you're just wondering, will the headaches ever end? Will I ever stay awake for more than 3 hours at a time? Like, luckily, I had a great support system with my wife, father-in-law, my parents, all my friends checking in on me. Some people aren't so lucky. Some people don't even know if their friends are more, especially pro athletes, if their friends are just more checking in on their meal ticket than anything else. But yeah, no, I'm gonna try to get this video seen, and maybe I highly doubt it, but I'd love for you guys to share it. I want to thank again Justin, my brother-in-law, and the father of my beautiful niece, for the interview a couple of weeks ago. It was one of our more popular ones. Thanks for him sharing it to his buddies. But I hope to do another interview with him again soon, because obviously it was pretty popular. Maybe we'll do a once-a-month type segment. See how he's doing about it. And until then, I just want to say, everyone knows I'm a pro wrestling fan. And one of the most influential pro wrestlers in the 70s that set the table for guys like Jesse Ventura, Hulk Hogan, hell, even The Rock, superstar Billy Graham, passed away this past week at age 79 in his 80th year. And so if you think he was tie-dyed, muscle-jacked, definitely steroid infused, he admitted it. But he was basically the Muhammad Ali of pro wrestling with the catchphrases. And until next time, again, use the hashtag #BornSports. I'm going to just share this through Christopher Nowinski. I'm going to tag the NHL and tag the NFL, even the NBA. If you guys share this on social media, please do. This needs to get out. This is very important. But until next time, do what I didn't do. Stay safe out there. And if you're watching this on the Saturday or the Sunday or the Monday, enjoy the Canadian long weekend. And if you're watching this in the States, happy Memorial Day weekend next weekend with summer here. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the good weather. Get as many rounds in of golf as you can, because it'll be October before you know it. And until then, have a good one.